following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
What's the next that ruffles through that? Is it math? God damn it!
Alright, you guys head off to mathematics and geometry.
Hey, look, dude!
Roll!
Math!
Yeah, let's see if they can make this fun.
Ooh, not too shabby.
13.
Pass.
Oh my god!
I have math as a skill.
Oh, yeah. Pretty sure I don't.
Yeah, there
I
we
should
go.
double check that one.
18.
Pass.
25.
Very pass.
Why do I have gaming? Flight sim.
Well, I think we all do. I don't know if maybe
don't
you
know.
don't because you haven't been there as long, but
A non-natural 20.
Pass.
Yeah.
So I have to use
See,
intelligence.
everything is math.
Maybe you're onto something.
I am.
I must master this math.
Once you realize that mass influences momentum, you understand. He just glances at Stephanie briefly. Exactly how the forces of mathematics are very, very interesting.
I think I understand what you're getting at. Just don't tell Dex.
Don't tell Doug's what he said, intruding into the middle of your conversation.
Nothing.
Right, and you know when people say not to tell someone things, they immediately sort of think about it reflexively.
But you
And
wouldn't.
because
You wouldn't be digging around, though.
I don't
would
have
you?
to dig around. You shout all the time.
Well, then the secret is out, I guess.
I mean, they're lovely, and mathematics is exactly how that works. What? Like I've never looked.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Next class.
Mental training.
Oh, excellent. Mistress Astoria leads you through DMV mind training as you can try and stop hooting. This is a DMV mental training check. If you don't have that, it is awareness.
I have spent points in it, but I don't know whether that was legal or not.
Well, if you've spent points in it, you should only have like about 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
I do
Yeah, I
remember
don't have it.
having that.
I haven't been here long enough to pick it up yet.
Oof.
Oh, natural 20.
Well, you're doing alright.
Yeah, fucking Derek's onto his classes today.
Oh, it's under DMV Sideblock, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
That's why I couldn't find it for a while. Net 20, holy shit.
God damn it.
Chad.
Alright, 2 of you are passing. I mean, 2 of you are also, like, this isn't a pass-fail class, I guess, so that's the wrong terminology. 2 of you are making slightly more progress with your fucking 20s than the other 2. This is not an easy class. Because it's very ephemeral. And other gay words.
You know, I think the sleep deprivation might be helping me out. I'm about to roll today.
And after lunch is computers.
The final boss.
You do know we've got danger room later as well.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Well,
we actually do. It's right there on the book.
well, maybe sweet. Depends on what they've got us doing, I guess.
Oh, that's good with computers.
I can call some uters.
Computers. 11.
Oh, 19.
22.
7.
Those 2, you 2, you two, not so much progress.
So we're not on the scale system still that you introduced last week.
It might not be the same numbers.
Alright.
It's like the later progress students are on much higher difficulties because they're on more advanced classes, and the lesser along students are on a smaller scale. This is not easy either, but yeah, so about half the class are doing alright with this one. And I believe next we have the super fun class we're all looking forward to.
The variable skill works, which we're doing carpentry the other day.
No, that's practical
practical
skills.
skills, right.
This is variable skills. So, like, you know how, like, you all have your own, like, specialized classes that you do? Like, you've got additional history classes.
Yep.
Acting.
Dex has his own special mental things. You've got, like, an acting thing.
Physics.
Derek has, you've got to fucking catch up on all your shit.
Well, they're also there.
Physics and that. And Roxanne's got, I don't know what.
It's basically just manipulating the ground.
No, this is skull work.
Oh, okay. Oh, it actually is skull work, not skill work. Okay.
I think it says skull work.
It does say
skull
skull.
work,
I thought that might have been a typo.
Reasonable and not good. Well, anyway, the important thing is that you then have that additional class to bolster up numbers that are flagging behind in other things, so you see how it doesn't matter really. Then, of course, there's the danger room. I'm just going to get everyone to just quickly roll a stamina check and see how burnt you get.
Stamina.
13.
Oh my god. Well, that would make sense. 7. Wait, 7.
24.
That no sleep.
14.
Alright, cool. So you all wake up in the infirmary. Having the distinct, crispy, lovely smell of cooked person filling the air. What? Tom, fuck you.
As it was Tom, not the danger room that did it. Well, the danger room pissed off Tom, and then
Well, he just lost control.
Yeah.
oh, he's not passing.
Lost
then.
control.
Is everyone alive?
Oh yeah, there's 2 minders in the infirmary too.
Oh no, they died. Because they were right there.
Of course. Oh well.
Tragedy. Oh well, at least they were white.
It doesn't matter.
You know, I think we should have seen this coming.
Yeah, I don't think they had a long expectancy after they.
Well, they did
Took
sign
that
a waiver,
job.
so...
That's true.
Which also got burnt.
316, report to control.
There's probably footage of it.
Yes, you spend a few more days for your lovely weekend. A few more days till Tuesday rolls around. This is kind of the important one. You did all the things that you would want to do. You progress along the arcs you want to progress on. And so here you end up again. You're having a lovely day on Tuesday, but not only because everything has been going super well the past few days, but I wouldn't bother consulting your timetable because Tuesday is very special, and you've had a lovely morning out in the field in Cold Rocks, being instructed by field team members and walk along observing on several interventions. You're not participating this time, so I don't need you to roll anything but an intelligence check to absorb your lessons. The DC is 10. 15 for Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Checks are good.
17.
Priority.
18.
I'm also
18?
spending,
It'd be 19 total.
which means there we go.
Good thing I spent 2 already. I'm really sure.
Cool. So, under the black mat over there in the corner is the newspaper you're going to get.
This is one for each of us. Yes.
Is that the free press or the post?
That is the post.
Ah, good.
Good. But really
Just
fun.
pass me Brendan's one for a minute, first off, before anyone starts.
This is the best thing to buy.
Right, well, so we start with Brendan and go around that way. And let me just actually set the lights to reading mode. Oh, it is set to reading mode. Uh-oh.
There we are.
It's a bit stark, isn't it? How's that? Is that a bit more comfortable?
I think that's
Yeah.
a bit less flary. Yes.
Warm. Where is Soviet? By Ethan Williams. The evil Russian villain Soviet was a familiar and titillating sight in Cold Rocks. Even after she gave up any pretense at heroism, she still pretended on occasion to be a hero. I mean, she would pretend to save people from carefully staged scenes to try and convince people she was not a villain. Well, it's been 2 weeks, and changed since King Kamehameha kidnapped the Bronze Trident. Xander Magruder, Svetlana Ivanova, they got your name right, and some others, and Soviet hasn't been seen since then. It's pretty obvious what the correlation is. We can finally say we know who Soviet is, really. In hindsight, it was obvious, and we're kind of stupid for not realizing sooner, but sometimes even very obvious things can be ignores. You're busy, distracted, so I think I can give us all a pass on this one. But just to make it official, we can now all plainly see who Soviet is. She's a minion of King Kamehameha, who was softening up Cold Rocks and indeed even the world for his kidnappings. And now her master has achieved his revenge against the Adequate Six. She has moved on, possibly to some desert beach island with her master. Curse her, whoever she may have been.
DMV to decommission armed officers by Randall Randerson. With mutant crime at an all-time high, befuddled dunderhead Ewan Runningdeer has announced that DMV agents will no longer be authorized to carry weapons in the field. This move is intended to better realize the goal of the DMV to be a place of counsel and rehabilitation. But what it will actually do is get agents and civilians killed. The DMV just announced to the world that their agents will be helpless against mutant criminals. But don't worry, reader. You see, the criminals will just engage in dialogue with our community united mutant service officers, and reasoned understanding can be reached without the need for childish violence. Well, good luck with that, retard.
Oh Crap by Ethan Williams. The Crap bravely and heroically put an end to an illegal distribution ring in Reagan earlier this week. They'll teach those Girl Scouts to push FUD cookies without the proper zoning and permits. Crap.
Retraction from 9th of April, Waylana Swell. It's important to know that when reporters act in good faith and use information they are given, it's still possible to make honest mistakes. In this case, not only I, but rival reporter Bubbly Nash Blibson reported that Broncos cheerleader and delectable snack Janica Ullman was recovering in hospital. However, the woman purporting to be the lovely pin-up was in fact not the missing Benstress, but was in fact a mutant posing as her. We at the Post hereby retract any information purporting from the missing maiden and condemn fully the liar who lied to us about anything which may be purporting to be Miss Ullman's position. Again, this is not Janica Ullman, picture of her from like the waist up. Heck, we're not even sure this is picture of bum. Upon close examination, this phony Ullman is a lot buffer than the one we interviewed before the Crowley incident. As of this time, we still have no idea why this mutant would pose as a cheerleader.
Fat shaming ends local business. Jenna McDuckins, with a heavy heart for the Harlequin community. Big bottom bozos closed its extra wide doors this week. Plus size clowns will now have nowhere to go for baggy clown pants that are actually baggy and wide pies. Where do all the chubby jesters go for whoopee cushions for the huskier joculator now? The only reason can be fat shaming, a new trend wherein people make fun of the obese, which has never been a thing before.
DMV no longer hiring mutants by Millard Duke. Ewan Runningdeer is at it again. Why do we need people with such violent training and powers? Why hire for that when we need counselors and empathetic, renewable people? Because asking a rampaging psycho-mutant to please kindly explore their childhood memories and come to an understanding it's totally going to work, isn't it? So with this news, there is now nowhere a mutant can put their destructive powers to good use. That's not going to cause more desperation and unrest. Arm yourselves, readers. Dangerous times are coming.
Crime Watch. Peeling Foregreen. There have been a number of high-value thefts of scientific equipment and chemicals across Cold Rocks. Specifically, a chemical storage facility in Oldsburg was robbed by a leader of... Oh my god. dimethyl sulfoxide, alarmingly a quantity of ultraviolet gas was lifted from a pterodino lab in Pterodino Park. The only evidence left behind was apparently some sticky white substance. If you live near science, arm yourself, be ready to report any suspicious mutants to the CRAP 555 CRAPB. In his cereal bowl. Judging by the taste of Special K cereal, I can only imagine that normal K cereal must taste like shit.
Local GM has trouble filling space by Eric Brisarios. With the capture of the local hero team by supervillain, it can sometimes be hard to fill in space in the newspaper. That is the concern of local game master who, after a decade of producing newspaper articles for his players to read, is staring to run out of ideas. You have no idea, none. These ungrateful fuckshits sit there gormlessly not paying attention. I gotta fill 4 fucking pages every week for them to complain about having to read. Oh, but if they don't get them, all of a sudden that's a problem. There's no pleasing these bastards. According to Pork Dumbshit, a game master of over 30 years, it is usually easy enough to do about half of it. You can use it to set up quests and mission hooks and give feedback on how the people and the powers that be view their actions. It's also good for emergent storytelling, waffled the pretentious little scrope, with an air of earnest faggotry, whilst at the same time continuously writing into the mustance of his supposedly hard work. But with the main hero group in the game has gone for a season, I have little sources to write on. Then he went on at great length about how it was difficult to write on the secret agent campaign because it was supposed to be a secret, and here he had to retcon a bunch of public information about them because he is thick, before transitioning seamlessly into a long tirade about the Democrats and why you can't buy Coca-Cola anymore if you're a white person. Therefore, before again transitioning seamlessly into an even longer rant about the World Economic Forum and how he was glad he wouldn't be around to see a mess of young people are making of the world, before slapping a button on his desk and punishing me for the long diversion from topic. Man, fuck this guy. Like Brendan's character fucks a dog. Oh no.
Do you mean characters?
Hey! No, it clearly just says character there.
Escapism Now by Carla Fuckinukle. Did you ever wonder what would happen if the Team Taz gimmick got thrown under the bus for Taz's son? Apparently it is a tale of wonderment and delight for the whole family, a delightful what-if tale set many years after Peter Pan. Except Hook is playing Peter Pan, and not Hook. It was right there, but because it was easier to shop Hook over Robin Williams than it was to shop Hook over Dustin Hoffman, here we are. We live here now. Rated G for God damn it. Hook. Just underneath. Liza, just shut up and take it, you fucking moron.
Oh, Liza. They'll tell us what to do.
There's another newspaper behind the burnished sun thing.
There's a wild world when the Post is like on the right, or like on the money in general.
This time we start with Ken and go around the other way.
Huh?
Like, I feel like we shouldn't be agreeing with some of their articles. But it's it.
It's almost like things are a little more nuanced than black and white.
Okay, so we start with me and then go that way?
Yep.
So we've got the Free Press, the truth shall make ye flange. Toolmart discontinues auto parts sale to prevent car accidents by Biff Chetson. In a bold move intended to curb the thousands of deaths from vehicles each and every day, Toolmart has decided to stop selling auto parts, sources confirmed today. According to shocking reports, people have purchased car parts at Toolmart, and then those cars have been involved in accidents, proving a direct correlation between selling auto parts and causing deaths. We can no longer be complicit in an industry that kills over 3,000 people a day, said a small spokesperson for Toolmart. Every time we sell a muffler, steering wheel cover, or flame decal, we are potentially causing the death of a person, and we cannot support that any longer. It's clear that bad drivers and poor road conditions don't cause vehicular deaths. Cars do. Tormart executives said they are beating themselves with a stick to atone for the deaths they've already caused. Our consciences will only be clean when we've been mercilessly beaten once for each of the millions of deaths that have been caused by automobiles since Tormart began selling auto parts, said one executive before solemnly beginning to beat himself with a baseball bat.
Biden Republicans have standards. Kathy Baxter. During a speech Monday, Joe Biden proudly declared that while Republicans have at least some standards, Democrats are going above and beyond with their double standards.
We got double standards, Jack. It's just twice as much as the Republicans. I'm serious. It's no joke, Jack.
Biden pointed out that by having two sets of standards, Democrats are leading the race for having the most sets of standards. It's 2 times as many standards, he said proudly. Double is a lot more than single. Everyone who's ever watched a baseball game knows that. Isn't that right, sweetie? He said to a young girl in the front row of the crowd, asking her to come up and stand on stage while he put his hands on her shoulders for the duration of the speech. Biden then went on to slam Trump for his treatment of women, confident in the knowledge that no one in the Democratic Party would dare call him out for being a hypocritical little creep. Not to be outdone, Trump quickly announced that the Republican Party would surely be debating its brand new triple standards, debuting its brand new triple standards, which would be the most tremendous standards.
Most tremendous standards, the biggest standards, like my hands. People always tell me, you have the most standards of anyone. I don't say that. People tell me that all the time. I'm just saying. The Democrats, they've only got double standards. Sad.
We fucked up big time by Buddy Flash Gibson. Look, I have no idea the woman I was interviewing and photographing last week was not Janica Allman, but last week we primed an article in which someone posing as the cheerleader and gamer who went missing in our city answered our questions. We have now learned that this woman is not the Janica Allman we thought she was. She wasn't Janica Allman at all. The DMV provided no information on who it might be. The DMV have advised that if anyone sees this woman, do not approach, but call their tip line. This is not Janica Allman. Contact the DMV if spotted. Boobs.
I was going to say, are we sure it wasn't their tit line?
Look, my spelling, she no good. Especially since everything blurry.
Dimethyl sulfoxide theft should trouble you by Kay Lindemann.
Oh, you can do it, no problem. I wonder why.
International artifact and jewel thief, Anansi the Sand Spider, Anansi, has been stealing chemicals, some say. Those some are the police, revealing to my sources that artificial webbing has been found at the scene of such a robbery this week. If true, this would not be the first time the high-value cat burglar has targeted scientific equipment for compounds. In 2011, the Sand Spider sold 40 milligrams of tritium from now-defunct Scarantis Corporation. Tritium, which ends up in the hands of Dr. Carnage, who, as we all know, used it to try and create free clean energy for the city of Stone River in 2011, only being stopped by the Justice Team in a dramatic waterfront fight. Whilst the Justice Team earned adulation and renown for saving the city from being turned into one half of a city, no one at the time considered the role Anansi played in obtaining the material for the psychotic doctor. Why should we be concerned about the recent dimethyl sulfoxide theft if the above example wasn't enough? How about I reveal what dimethyl sulfoxide does? Often referred to the much easier to say DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide easily permeates human skin and cells and may be used to piggyback other agents through the cell wall, allowing drugs and other agents, which would not normally be skin absorbently effective, to retain effectiveness on skin contact. Imagine if a criminal mixed DMSO and cocaine, then hosed the solution over a crowd. Imagine if it was put in the water supply. DMSO is also renowned for being able to permeate normally impermeable mutant skin, if mixed with the even rarer Alta Vitae chemical development for other uses by Pterodina, which has also been stolen. Worried yet? Wondering why the authorities are doing nothing about this? maybe you should not worry so much. After all, combining Alta Vitae, which is a gas in its natural state, with DMSO is actually very difficult, almost impossible without highly specialized equipment, almost designed for the purpose. A piece of equipment called a cyclic post recombiner. And there are only 4 of them in the country. Nonetheless, if some mad scientist has commissioned the Sand Spider to steal these things, the attempt could blow up a city block. According to Anthony Smarr, who we interviewed about this, he said, "Dear God, both at once? I hope this is unrelated, because if they mess up combining even the smallest amount, the chemical reaction can cause a massive explosion." How massive, I asked? If they tried to mix all the amounts you said at once, maybe a city block? Thereabouts? We reached out to the police about this, and they told us, mutant crime, not our problem. So we went to the DMV, and their representative gave us a statement to print. To the mutant who stole these chemicals, we understand you feel you have no other option. We understand what it can be like to be pushed aside by society. There are 15 hours of free counselling available to you should you wish to avail yourself of them. Well, how safe do you feel now? Introducing the BMW X1, the space of a small hatchback, the fuel efficiency of an SU. Ah, shit.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, warning. Driving a BMW may turn you into an insufferable douchebag. If you begin to exhibit symptoms such as incessant tailgating, honking at pedestrians and crosswalks, or an inability to use your turn signals, seek help from an Audi dealer right away. Always wear your safety belt.
Mysterious Gamer Might Be Awesome by E. Morgan. Amongst gamers, there's a pretty informal but solidly disagreed upon hierarchy of who's late, written in 1337, at what. The recent convention and tournament upended a lot of assumptions, and then everyone went to jail. Cough. What surprised so many was the sheer number of smouldering attractive women were avid gamers. Almost impossibly numerous. There were also a lot of what the high school jocks would call losers. To them I say, bourgeois. I can prove the most awesome and manly thing in the world to play... I can prove the most awesomely and manly thing in the world plays video games. Or at least I can prove it enough for me. Have any of you heard of Full Metal? The normies out there, that's a player tag. Like a call sign gamers used to pretend they're not lame. Children. This one has been doing way above average in their online competition. I've managed to track down their rough location, and would you not know? The Cold Rocks hold military base. Badass manly man confirmed. Oh, but it does get better. Did you know Full Metal is in fact a girl? In fact, sources I cannot reveal have surprised me with enough details to say with confidence enough to print that Full Metal, a video game enthusiast, is in fact a Minuteman by the name of Alexa. Now, if what we've seen of Helena 6-1 is anything to go by, that means this perfect soldier is also a solid 8 on the Delidus, Orthorn, Yeaskins, Anathor, Mithanak, and Nemler scale of feminine appeal, or a 7 on the Feiskin, Harper, Alton, Watonje, Arthur, Accio, and Remberg scale, or even an A on the less accredited Balkan, Octavia, Orson, Bork, Zendinar, and Cedrine scale. So what now? She's hot, shoots guns, and is more badass and capable than you will ever be, and plays more video games. Kinda sounds like the perfect woman.
I think she might be getting in some trouble for some information that's apparently got it out.
Tyranno suffers multiple thefts. Wait. Type cornhole fire.
Oh, Tope Con Hero?
Type cornhole, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very slick move.
Yeah. 5 separate thefts have struck the formerly invincible seeming Pterodino recently. First, a daring raid by the Freak Show stole a shipment of duranium plates being shipped from Las Vegas to Cold Rocks. The daring truck top raid resulted in the murder of 4 truck drivers. The second theft was that of a exotic piece of equipment called, cyclonic post recombiner from a long-term storage facility. No one was hurt in the raid, but a silent alarm was triggered introducing a mutant was present. The third raid took place yesterday morning when an armed band of mutants assaulted Pterodino Tower, stealing over 100,000 in cash and gold. 12 guards were killed and 7 office workers. The fourth heist happened at virtually the same time. At a remote desert testing facility was attacked and leveled by the flying monster dubbed Grendel. Over 20 people are missing, presumed dead. The fifth theft happened near midnight and targeted the homes of some of the top executives of the Pterodino. Reportedly, the theft of company documents was the objective of these thieves, but they were unsuccessful. But cash was still taken. Obviously, our hearts and prayers are with the victims of the seemingly targeted, coordinated series of attacks.
High school rivalry heats up. Albus Potnigger. Now the Richard Milhouse Nixon High School has been officially saved. They need to do something about their sports team. The Wildcats, which just got crushed 45-0 by the Truman High Wildcats. This puts the two schools even on the All-City Cup, and the victory can now be attributed to one factor. According to the new Truman High Wildcats quarterback, Jeffrey Graham Gilderman, or Triple G for short, who reasons it's because Rodney Hardridge is rather a one-trick pony, and once you work out how to negate his one trick, the rest of the team falls like dominoes. Perhaps this is true, and perhaps the Wildcats are a bit exhausted from having to save their school. Either way, the Wildcats beat the Wildcats, and that's got to be worth something to someone.
Go Wildcats!
Yeah, go Wildcats! Fuck those Wildcats! Boo! Boo! Who do we like?
Wildcats!
Who are we gonna beat? The
Wildcats!
Yeah!
Oh, no, the other Wildcats. The
Wildcats, the other
ones.
Yes, you get that. The newspaper's there.
Oh shit, Pterodino's been hit a whole bunch.
Yes. What?
Are we already degunned?
Yes.
I missed my gun.
Alvin will just be standing by Jan, and it's just like, pat, pat, pat.
I'm alright. I'm still plenty useful. I have my detector ink kit.
That actually makes you far more useful than most of us.
Don't put you sell yourself short. I mean, yeah, you're incredibly useful. Even Derek? You guys have all the knowledges of the world, and even Anthony can
compute real good.
I'm concerned when they say that I can't take these off or lock them on.
Yeah, your field tutors, I'm changing that. That's a stupid name. Jonathan Kent. Oh God, no! It's Jonathan Kent now.
He'll give us terrible advice.
No, he's not played by what's his name, Kevin Costner. He's like, no, remember, your powers are to strictly never ever be used at all ever now.
Just be farmers.
Sir, doesn't that mean I'd be like... mush?
Well, you know what I mean. The mutant criminal of today is a confused mess who needs help and understanding, not opposition and violence. That's raising your hand in such a manner is oppressive patriarchy.
How?
Instead, just offer a nice little thumbs up. It's too fist-like. Just loosen your hand a bit. It's a bit aggressive. There we go.
This is
Yes.
aggressive.
What if I have to heal someone?
Well, of course, you would have to fill out the forms and ask them for consent first.
But what if they can't give consent?
Well, then you can't heal them.
But they'll die.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that's out of your hands. Offer the remaining family or well-wishers counselling.